Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Contour and Highlighting 101. So I figured that the best thing would be to start out with a little bit of the basics of contour and highlighting, just because once you understand the basics of it, what it actually is and what actually it's supposed to do for your face, then it is a little bit easier to, achieve that look and actually do it. Contour and highlighting is used to really sculpt out the face, to shape the face to exactly how you want, to accentuate your features, or maybe there's some features that you want to minimize. Like some people like to contour their nose, which you've seen me do in previous videos. I personally, when I do my contour and highlighting, like to minimize my nose and make it look thinner. So for those of you who want to do that, or want to do that for other areas in the face, you could do that as well. So contouring is used to diminish any parts of the face that you want to hide. So that's where you actually sculpt out the face. That's used with darker tones, and highlighting the face is used with lighter tones to bring to accentuate those areas and bring attention to those areas. And usually highlighting is also used where natural light will hit your face. So that's the real basics about it. What you'll need to do the full highlight and contour. You can do highlighting and contouring with just creams, just powders, or both. In this video, I will do both. I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. You can use any concealer that you really love, and this is gonna, bring attention to any parts of the face where we wanna highlight. Also, if we want to cover up like any darkness under our eyes and things like that, that is what a good liquid concealer will do. And this is one product that you can't really go without. You're gonna need some sort of translucent powder. Of course, I'll be using my favorite Laura Mercier translucent. This is by far my favorite, and I really have never found anything that I like more than this. I've tried plenty, and I do love this one the best. So, this is the one I choose. Also, you'll need either a contour kit. I'm gonna be using the NYX contour kit. You don't necessarily need to use like a whole, if I could open it, you don't necessarily need to use a whole kit like this one. However, sometimes it does make it easier instead of going to buy, different powders, or, technically like some of this one, the banana powder that has a yellow tone which helps to brighten, can replace your translucent. I don't like to do that. I prefer to keep the translucent along with this and still maybe use the banana powder. I call it banana because it's yellow. But for some people, you may prefer to just use this, especially if you have dry skin. That's another thing. If you have super dry skin, you don't necessarily need the translucent, or you don't want to use it because it could dry out your skin. So something like this would be sufficient. If you don't want a whole contour kit, you can also use something like just one plain matte bronzer. This one's the Too Faced chocolate bronzer, and I always use the one in medium deep. So instead of buying the whole contour kit, you could just do these two, or then, you can just buy a contour kit. And for cream contour, you'll need either a contour stick or something like this. This is the LA Girl, oops, it's upside down. You'll need this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this one's in the shade Beautiful Bronze. But today I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Contour Stick, and this one is in the color Mink. These are brand new, they just came out, so I was really excited to get my hands on it, and that's why I'm going to be using it for this video. Both of these, this one's a drugstore and this one's a little bit more high-end, so they'll do potentially the same thing, but of course, when you're a makeup junkie like I am, you gotta have it all. You will need a beauty blender. This one is that Real Beauty Blender, the brand. You can also use one like this. This is by Real Techniques, and this is like the drugstore brand one. I like both of them. They'll both do the same thing, but I do like how beauty blenders feel better. I like how they're a little bit softer. I like them better when they're wet. I like how it feels better against my skin. I think it's maybe a little bit easier to use, but then again, in the end, you will get the same result. So it just really depends on what you prefer to use and how you prefer to use them. I love the regular beauty blenders. I have these, and I use them for other things like liquid illuminator, things like that, so I don't ruin this one because I love it so much for everything else. I think we can go ahead and get started with actually doing contour and highlighting. So first step is always concealer. Like I said, I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Light Medium. And so we wanna accentuate any parts of the face you know, that we want to bring to light, that we want to bring attention to, and also cover up any darkness. So for that darkness, we're going to be using it under our eyes. And a little trick is to actually apply it in a triangle shape. So if you see, I'm kind of creating that triangle, and I'm stretching it to the tops of my cheekbones. Tops of your cheekbones are a part that we want to accentuate, so that's why I'm dragging it there. The trick of using the triangle is actually to, you know, kind of disguise that natural circle that we have in our eyes. Whether they're puffy or dark or not, if you go ahead and create a circle under your eyes, you're gonna bring attention to that circle. Whether it's puffy or not, you're almost gonna do the opposite effect by making it puffy and making it visible. So by making a triangle, you're working kind of past it and disguising that natural circle. Also, we want to accentuate the middle of our forehead. I like to make a little X. I don't go too crazy there because then I feel like it makes my face too pale. So I'll work it down the bridge of my nose and put a little bit right at the end. You want to be careful with putting it at the end of your nose, because if you put too much product there, it will actually make it look wider. So by making it just a little bit is enough. You can put a little bit right there and also on the chin. At this point, you can blend in the highlight and then go back to the contour, which is actually what I'm gonna do. Some people prefer to do both the highlight and contour at the same time, but I prefer to blend it all in first to kind of just see, you know, do I need more? Do I need more blending? Do I need this before I go ahead and put the other, before I go ahead and contour? So I'm gonna use my damp beauty blender. It is wet, and I'm gonna just pounce it into my skin and blend everything out. And I forgot to mention that before we started this video, I did have foundation on. So that really would be the first step, is to make sure that you have your liquid foundation on. We're gonna start with the cheekbones. I always like to make a fishy face, and we're gonna hit right under that cheekbone. So right from the top of the ear to the cheekbone, and stop about halfway, you know, on the cheek. You don't wanna go too far to the mouth, because then it's, you know, it's just not gonna look natural. But by doing it to this point right here, you'll still be able to blend it out if you need to a little bit further. Our forehead. So by applying the cream contour to the sides of your forehead, you're making it look smaller. And you can even work that a little bit up. Then we'll do our nose. We'll do it on the sides of our nose, making it very narrow. We'll do a little bit under our bottom lip. This will make our lips look bigger. And then we're ready to blend it all in. And make sure that your beauty blender is staying super damp. If you feel like it's drying out, make sure that you go and dampen it up again, because you're not going to be able to blend it out if it is not damp enough. the nose, I like to just begin blending it with my fingers because it's just such a small area. It makes it easier to start blending it with your fingers first. Then I'll kind of work it downwards. Some Cover FX custom enhancer drops. I'm dripping a little bit onto my Real Techniques beauty blender or sponge. Right on the tops of my cheekbones. And then blending it in. Translucent powder you can use to bake with. Baking means to apply powder on the skin and let it sit for a little bit so it really draws out any moisture from the face or from the cream product, so that way it doesn't move throughout the day or throughout the night. You want to set with translucent before you move on to any other powder products. So I am going to bake a little bit under my eyes and in a few other places where I put concealer. Normally, you don't always have to do this. You could just like sweep some translucent powder with a brush over those areas, but I'm just gonna show you exactly how to do that. So if you guys want to do it, then you can know how. So on my damp beauty blender, the same one that I've been using, I dip my sponge into the powder, tap off the excess a little bit, and then apply it to wherever I want to bake. I do get oily in the middle of my forehead, so I'll apply some there. Also on my chin and right above my lip. And I'm not going too much onto the contour part because we don't want to diminish the contour, and I'm gonna go over it with other powder anyway. Now I'm gonna go in with the NYX contour kit, and I will use a little bit of the yellow powder. So the yellow powder is used to brighten any areas in the face. So I'm just gonna use that a little bit under the eyes. I'm just gonna be mixing these two colors. I like to start out with a little bit lighter first. If I feel like that's too light, I can always go back in and, darken it a little bit. But because we also did cream contour, we don't need so much powder. That area is already contoured and already dark. So we're just gonna use a little bit of these two. And then go ahead, fishy face, and in those same areas, just follow the cream contour and work it into those areas. And we're gonna work that onto our temples and sides of our forehead. I'll be using those same two colors and just putting some powder over my nose contour. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that yellow powder and work it just in the middle of my nose. Now for highlighter, I'm gonna be using MAC Soft and Gentle. This is one of my favorite highlighters, and I'm gonna be applying it with a fan brush. Now with a very thin brush, I'm going to be applying it to the bridge of my nose and also my Cupid's bow. Faced Sweethearts blush, and this is in the shade Peach Beach, and it looks something like this. Dipping a little bit in, smiling, hitting the tops of my cheekbones, and then blending it in. And now we are ready to finish off the rest of the look. So I'll go apply some mascara, put on some lipstick, and I'll be right back. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I hope that you do. So please subscribe. Make sure to give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Facebook or like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, you know the deal. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.